Previously on One Hit Kill Sister, Asahi Ikusaba is reincarnated into a fantasy world after sacrificing himself to save a little girl from a traffic accident. As a massive otaku, this is like a dream come true, at least until he realizes how weak he is. What's more, it turns out his older sister has followed him into his world, and she is every bit as insanely powerful as he is weak. With no power to his name and an overly affectionate older sister looming over his shoulder, this isekai life isn't quite what Asahi imagined. After trying and failing at solo adventures, he tries to join a party but gets roped into an emergency quest. There, he is confronted by Kilmaria, a demon general, but manages to cheat death once more thanks to his overpowered sister. The story continues with Tanya, who is explaining the story of an old abandoned house. She reveals that this manor was built by one of the most prominent nobles in the kingdom of Caesarion. Constructed on the edge of the residential area, it was built for his servants. However, ever since it was left unoccupied, people have been hearing screams from the house. Thanks to this, many eerie rumors have started to spread around this house, which state that it has been haunted by an evil spirit. And so, Asahi and his sister are deployed to deal with this spirit, and they head on over. In a flashback, Asahi, after once again running out of money for their lodging, goes to the guild to get another quest. There, he meets with Tanya, asking her to help find him a profitable quest with a huge reward. Understanding that he and his sister have no permanent place of residence, Tanya claims that she has a perfect that will fulfill Asahi's needs, announcing that as a reward, he will receive a house. And just like that, without even hearing the details, Asahi agreed to accept this quest, thinking that he needs a base of operation in order to live out his dream fantasy life. However, when Tanya reveals that the quest is regarding an exorcism of an evil spirit, he pees his pants. Regardless, he still thinks that this quest is too good to pass up, and as such, takes his sister along with him to complete his quest. And so, the brother-sister duo head to their destination, while Maya recalls stories about how her little brother has always been scared of ghosts. Nevertheless, Asahi announces that he is no longer a child and isn't afraid of this stuff no more. But he obviously is. Anyway, they eventually make it to the old house, and Asahi decides to open the door. But as soon as he touches the door handle, he feels his energy being drained. All of a sudden, a voice is heard from the door. This voice claims to be the evil spirit who is using an energy drain to keep all the intruders at bay. Nonetheless, even this evil spirit's ability isn't a match for Maya and her unlimited power, which easily overwhelms him, forcing it to throw up the stolen energy as it cannot absorb any further. As a result, they both are finally able to enter the house. As they chat there, where Maya reveals her intentions to commit hardcore incest, things suddenly start moving and attacking Asahi. Seeing this, Maya uses a potion, increasing in rarity and price every time he gets hit, but he tells her to stop, claiming that Maya buying all these healing potions is the reason they are broke in the first place. Seeing her brother get hurt, Maya challenges the spirit in a direct confrontation, and the spirit finally shows itself and begins attacking. Regardless, Maya easily blocks the incoming attack, and things start getting heated. Understanding the extent of his opponent's power, the spirit claims Maya is equal to the Demon King's generals in terms of strength. Despite this, is take control of her body to stop her, and so he possesses his foe. This leaves Asahi completely helpless, but despite this, he is unwilling to let his sister get taken advantage of. As such, he tries to knock her back to her senses, but suddenly, Kilmaria shows up. Seeing her, Asahi asks for help, and she is ready to do just that. However, fearing the destruction of this house, he tackles her, telling her not to fight seriously in here. That is when he ends up grabbing her melons in the process. Anyway, as per Asahi's plea, she decides to challenge this possessed Maya to an arm wrestling competition. As soon as the battle begins, both are seen to be on equal level, prompting Kilmaria to compliment this spirit who is able to use so much of Maya's power. But amidst the battle, she realizes something is off. Nevertheless, Maya emerges victorious from this battle and pounces on Asahi, who is terrified but still not ready to give up on his beloved sister. Hearing how much he worries about her, Maya is able to overcome the spirit and returns to her senses. Nevertheless, she then reveals that she was never being controlled in the first place. Rather, she was just acting to tease her adorable little brother. Consequently, the brother-sister team has fulfilled their quest and as such have taken the house for themselves. After a vigorous cleaning, they manage to return this manor to its former glory. After some time passes by, the duo is yet again on another mission. This time, they are seen inside a dungeon. As they explore this place, Asahi accidentally sets up a trap, prompting a giant boulder to come rolling towards them at high speeds. Seeing this, Asahi already knows what to do, as per his experience reading such scenarios, and immediately heads towards an empty room they can use to avoid this rock. However, Maya, despite being called repeatedly, simply stands there. When the boulder finally reaches her, she then shatters it into a million pieces, telling Asahi to not worry about it. It is revealed that Tanya was the one who recommended this quest to Asahi. With this, he tries to go ahead and complete this quest on his own, not wanting to always rely on his sis. However, she is seen to be secretly following him from behind and sneaking up on him. This brings us back to the present, where the sibling team is still exploring. There, Asahi's tactics keep on triggering traps, almost killing them both numerous times. Eventually, they happen upon their first monsters, a pair of undead. Nevertheless, these monsters are no match for Maya and her insane physical strength, and so they both continue their exploration. Not long after, they finally reach the deepest part of this dungeon, the throne room. However, it appears to be completely empty, making Asahi relieved that they won't have to face a final boss. All of a sudden, from behind the throne, 3 bear-like cub monsters come forth. Seeing them, Asahi theorizes that maybe these cubs are the offsprings of the Kaiser bear Kilmaria defeated previously. But he cannot bring himself to hurt these cute cubs, deciding to lie to the guild and deem this dungeon unfit for adventurers to explore. As such, they both head back home, but Maya, wanting to cook up something for her brother, goes on ahead, leaving Asahi to be the target of many monsters. Regardless, he is able to lose them using his escape skill and make his way back to town, where he bumps into a beautiful woman. Nevertheless, he senses something is weird. This woman reveals her true identity, Kilmaria, claiming that she wants to see humans go about their business. After getting interested in Asahi and Maya, she wants to see their towns and asks Asahi to show her around. Unable to refuse this cute general of the Demon Lord, he agrees and they both go sightseeing. Asahi even shows her the sunset from a bell tower, where she asks him to come to her side. She states that Asahi is strong and has useful skills, so she wants him to become a demon, but he refuses, telling her that he cannot leave Maya alone. Understanding his love for his sister, Kilmaria leaves the topic there and they both then head to eat some food. However, Asahi ends up blowing his entire dungeon exploration reward on feeding Kilmaria and getting her drunk. Nevertheless, she still isn't satisfied, requesting to go to Asahi's house and continue drinking. As such, they head over, where Maya is seen waiting for him with a delicious homemade meal. But Asahi, just having had a meal, is full. Kilmaria uses her magic, making his stomach empty again, and all 3 of them sit down to share a meal. Sitting there, Asahi thinks about how lively his new life has gotten. Long ago, in a church somewhere in the kingdom, a young girl named Sophie was talking with her mother. Her mother claimed that one day Sophie would meet the hero. Hearing the praises of this hero, she grows up with great admiration for the one who will be chosen. In the present, Asahi is soloing some wolf monsters while his sister stalks him from behind. All of a sudden, a giant wolf appears, but Maya sweeps in to save him. During the commotion, Asahi gets a little scratch, prompting Maya to take out a healing potion, but he claims this scratch will heal on its own. And that's where Maya's creepy side comes out as she starts chasing him, stating she wants to lick his wound to help it heal better. Of course, Asahi is weirded out and uses escape to run away. Nevertheless, when he teleports, he ends up bumping into Sophie, who has turned out to be a well-endowed beauty. Thankfully, no one was hurt. However, upon seeing Asahi's wound, Sophie used her healing magic to mend his injuries. Suddenly, her current party, the Pitch Black Brigade, called out to her. This arrogant and cocky group treats her like trash, being forced to take this no-name healer with them on this dungeon quest. Anyway, Asahi says his goodbyes and leaves. When Maya finally catches up to him, she sees that the cut has already healed, and he explains that this is thanks to the healer girls he just met. They both head to the guild for a quest after a while, but Tanya is already there waiting for him. He reveals that Sophie's party is stuck in the dungeon and unable to return. On the other hand, Sophie is the only one left standing. everyone else has been eaten by a plant monster, which has also taken hold of her. Just as she is about to get eaten as well, Asahi arrives in the nick of time to save her. In shock, she falls unconscious, remembering only her savior. Meanwhile, Maya shows up and deals with all the monsters in a single attack. They rescued everyone who had been eaten and was now covered in stickiness, but instead of getting dirty themselves, they left them on the ground. Afterwards, they decided to go eat a meal, and that's when Sophie arrived. She tracked Asahi down with the help of the staff and proclaimed him a dedicated hero. Moreover, she asks to join his party, and unable to refuse this cutie, he also agrees. Even Maya is on board because of her praises for Asahi. Suddenly, the pitch-black group shows up. They deem Sophie responsible for them getting eaten and want revenge. However, for her, this is the breaking point. She started hurling insults at them, stating that she resigns because she will join the hero Asahi's party. Nevertheless, the party doesn't give up and attacks, but Maya uses black pepper as a smokescreen to escape with her brother, who deems Sophie a nutcase and thinks it would be best to avoid her for now. The next day, Asahi goes to the guild alone to get a quest. Maya, meanwhile, is fighting with Kilmaria over eating bell peppers. At the guild, Tanya gave him a quest to collect honey from monster bees. However, he alone isn't enough for this. All of a sudden, Sophie arrives, having finally tracked down Asahi once again. Seeing her, Tanya marks the quest as accepted, and they both go on their first mission together. There, Sophie, thinking that Asahi has great powers, decides to provoke all the bees at once, forcing him to face the boss. However, Asahi isn't the strong hero Sophie makes him out to be. Regardless, he cannot allow a girl to die in front of him and prepares to face this giant bee. But suddenly, a giant rock comes down, crushing all the bees at once. Sophie is dumbfounded, thinking that Asahi had used earth magic. In addition, thinking he must be tired, she decides to head out before him and wait, telling him to rest up. On the other hand, Asahi bumps into Maya and Kilmaria, who reveal that this giant rock was the aftermath of their fight. They all head home together. Meanwhile, it is now almost midnight. Sophie is still waiting for her hero to show up, but he has forgotten all about her. In the early hours of dawn, Asahi is unable to fall asleep and heads to the guild. There, he learns that Sophie is still waiting for him, and so he rushes to see her covered in pigeon droppings and profusely apologizes for his actions. And that concludes our recap for now. Poor Sophie, I wonder if all that waiting will be worth it. There are many more awesome episodes ahead, so subscribe to Anime Soreio to be the first to stay up to date with animes like this one and much more. If you enjoyed it, drop us a like, comment down below, and share it with your otaku friends, as it helps our channel grow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!